Okay, maybe that'll work. All right, that's definitely it. All right, I had to check in on the other side. So, all right, y'all, what up? Okay, so welcome to We Got Questions podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Hennessy. I know I ain't got my other person here with me, but I'm holding it down. I'm holding it down. I gotta turn this down. It's in my ear. Um, yeah, I'm just real raw dogging it right now. So um yeah, make sure that y'all follow me on all platforms. Make sure y'all follow me everywhere. You get your music, every entertainment, all that stuff. Once again, to post all the stuff. I got like buttons and stuff to click. So yeah, we got questions podcast live. You know what I mean? So just gotta make sure y'all follow all that stuff going on down there. Um, but yeah, I'm here. And let me see. I'm just trying to get everything going because I kind of just walked right in the crib and just got right to it. So um let's see. I want to write down tonight's conversation, but there's a lot to write down, honestly. But I'll think I go based off of what I'm actually what I have so far. I didn't get a chance to update none of this stuff because I just came back from Gabby's what do you call it? She had her orientation today. So ninth grade, fresh start, kid growing up in the world. So I gotta go to I'm talking about. All right. One part of the conversation. And then anybody who's new here, like, subscribe, follow me, all the stuff, share it out to somebody that you feel as though will benefit from the conversation that I'm about to have right now. Um, let me see. Sorry, y'all. All right. Bam. That's it. All right. So we're gonna start it off with a quick segment that I'm just starting with myself. So the first topic would be, have you self loved yourself lately? And let me see if y'all don't understand what that means. It's just things that you've done for yourself that you kind of like, I guess, that helped you in your process of life up to this point, right? So um I would say anybody who, I guess is possibly, in transition in life, probably certain ages, anything like that, you're going on and you're moving on to something that's like better. So most of the time there's ways in how you can kind of like move forward with yourself in particular. So a lot of people really follow this method, and a lot of people that are looking for more or less a healthier lifestyle for themselves, they will self-love, or do things to help themselves be better. So one of the things, or the key things that I have for that about self-love, and this is something that well, let me explain me first. I probably do better explaining me first. So um with me and my self-love, I think I became more I'm trying to see if I can, yeah, I became more, I guess, intentional about things about me and what I needed to be doing for myself. Like I've I've been what would I say? Reading a lot. I read a lot this year. I actually read the most I've ever read. I listen to audiobooks while I'm working. And it's probably one of the reasons why I'm not focused and paying attention, because I am actively listening to audiobooks. Um, One of the ones that I kind of go back to over and over again, and I read it. Like, I was just reading the book about socialism and learning about that because I'm into the socialist lifestyle. So um reading about that and seeing, how, I guess, I can grow in that field and learn more about what goes on with that, and try to have a better conversation with that. Hopefully I can have a good conversation about that at some point soon. But the self-love things that I have done for myself was, um check my mental, get that going, get out of the funks that I had in the past. And I guess, just grow from those things. Learning to uh tap in more or less with like I guess my daughter, just the things that she got going on and trying to understand her, uh and understanding me through her, I guess, I can say that, like, utilizing the things that she's going through and stuff and learning more coping and more, intentional things along with Gabby. So, that's one of the things I've been doing. I guess I'll just intentionally being happy about things, not letting anything affect me if it's just not for me anymore. I think it's just not for me anymore. And, I've learned to just, uh, move past that and just keep keep going forward. So, um what else have I done? Hmm. Been training a lot. Outside of the skating and stuff that I've mentioned on the last episode, training is like a big thing for me at this point now. Just walking, actively walking all the time, going to the gym and lifting and putting that music on and just grinding it out. Uh, it's one of the things I've been doing to create better health and stuff for me. Um, really sitting down and focusing in on things, zeroing in on uh, my daily mental as far as my work life, trying to, maneuver around that, work with some people that just can be a little bit annoying, but, we're here. Um, what else would I say? Um, hmm. Trying to spend more time with my friends and stuff like that, and really be intentional about that because I feel like as we got older we all started going our separate ways, which is no problem, no faults of anybody at that as well, but I think it was just like I needed to spend more time hanging out with my friends and being active with them because um ain't nothing like hanging out with friends, or at least having friends that you can hang out with. So yeah, but that's another thing I've been doing. Meeting new people and paying attention about meeting new people and doing that. Uh Hanging out. Well, I won't say hanging out, but learning different communities of things, like having friends that's now a part of like fraternities and stuff like that. And learning that lifestyle and what they got going on over there. So that's a thing. What else? I think that is it right now, at least. I will say that's it for me personally right now. But though I feel like there's steps to how you can like self-love and stuff like that. So I did write some stuff down. Let's see. I wrote down okay, I got you, Lexus. What's going on? Thanks for watching. If you see that like button, make sure y'all hit the like button and then share it out if you want to have other people watch it. If not, just sit back and chill. So self love, right? These are the things that I wrote down. What can come out of self love, which I feel like a lot of people should and can do. It creates a better mindset for yourself, right? It creates the better mindset as far as like thinking things through, organizing mentally, putting stuff together, and collectively getting your thoughts right and being straightforward with yourself, like because it's all about you at the end of the day. Creating the better habits, like maybe um you procrastinated a lot before, on cleaning or on maybe training your body or your eating habits or your consumption of whatever, like it could be sexual habits, it could be everything. But when you're choosing yourself and there's no other person obviously to um get in the middle of that, you're gonna have to change something. So I guess that is another key thing. I got it all on the phone, by the way. So personal growth. So personal growth, like you said, like I said, basically just conquering um tasks and stuff that you want to do. Like it's just like a better feeling of like growing from something like that. Like when you self-love, when you're like your personal growth is a thing, like you start realizing like, oh shit, I'm changing. And that's, just another step into stuff. So that one of my favorite ones that I wrote down, so that you're more likely to achieve goals which can lead to better health and better wealth. So like achieving your goals, like if you set something, and say, oh, I want to do this by this point, right? And then you work at it in the middle, like from the point of this to the middle, then you get to the end. When you go back and look at that shit, man, you want to break down and cry. Like seriously. Um, when I learned how to skate this year, I made that shit a goal. I said I'm gonna learn how to do this, right? I'm gonna learn how to get it in. And starting off, I got videos of me starting off and looking like complete shit. And when I started off, like I couldn't skate, I couldn't do nothing, I couldn't stand in this case, I didn't do anything. My daughter still has a recording, and she laughed. She used to laugh at it, but then I got to the point where I'm at now, and it's like, oh, okay, like you not only is you skating, and then you turn in, and then you can jump in them, move around in them. You can show other people how to do some shit. You can get around a little bit. There's new challenges and stuff now. Now my new challenge is going to be something different. Like, so I'm a really get it in on these next challenges because I want to be a beast at it now. Now it's like, all right, now I ain't playing no games. I got all the people that's doing their thing and outgrowthing me in certain areas because I spent a month away due to my own personal health reasons, but it's all good. Y'all gonna see me real soon, and I already know I'm determined at this point now. Now, I think people, they are comfortable, they skilled, they ready to go. So now it feels more or less it's fun, but it feels more competitive now. And the one thing about me, when I'm competitive about something, I'll get competitive. Like, okay, make things happen. We're gonna make it shake. All right. So that's a goal and a thing for me to accomplish. But I think it's all about y'all accomplishing y'all own goals as well. Your relationships with friends and partners in life, right? So this one right here, I can talk in depth about this one, right? So like when you when you have things that you have about you, right? You your friends, right, should be able to adapt to that particular thing, right? Depending on what it is that you're pushing out there, right? So like my friends in particular, I don't know if we just adapt or we just all grow and just you just realize it as excuse me, you just realize it as like time goes on. Like this person is they're showing you something, right? So like when I chose to do this skating thing, like I felt like friends was seeing it a certain way, right? They were like, oh shit, yo, you taking it serious. And they starting to see like the things that you're doing could be making other people and influencing other people to want to do the same thing. So like um I don't know, I don't know if people are going to start doing it, but I know it was a thought that everybody like, yo, I need to really get into this because like I see the way that you took it serious and kept on going for it. So um that's one thing. Plus, it could put you in a space where y'all can now relate on new things, right? So, like, you got friends, like my friends, we all grew up gamers and anime watchers and all the stuff. We listen to the music. We used to go out and do little random stuff. Now, being in our 40s, we're in our second adulthood. So it's like things have changed, and we are now in a position to be something different. Like we're doing different things, like we're conquering different type of goals, like, and this is just something that's just another step. Like Marcus make this a passion in his own way, and they're enjoying it, but I can tell like they're taking other levels and other steps into stuff too, right? Getting finding something that's more challenging. So it's something that I particularly like have a challenge for now. I've only been doing this for 8 months. It hasn't been long. So I got a long way to go and a lot of learning to do. So that's another thing that you can do. Partner in life, as long as you do the work, you should be able to find that person that aligns with the way that you're moving, right? So not everybody is going to align with the way that you're moving, and that's okay, right? Because what can you do? What can you do? Like the goal is to find that person that makes sense for you. And if it makes sense for you, y'all gonna be good. So um as long as you put that work into you to create the better mindset, to create a better health, better everything, and create your own version of happiness or whatever it is for you, then it should be good. You know what I mean? It should be good. So shouts out to partners in life, and hopefully it comes true for some people. All right. So this one, I guess, because I can sit back and play this to previous relationships and stuff that I got going on, right? I can never repair anything that has ever gone wrong in previous relationships, right? Rather it's a friendship, rather it's a relationship, rather it's yeah, well, those things like partnerships in business or um work stuff. Like I can never go back and change anything, right? I can only move forward, right? So I will say like true accountability for me is something that I had to sit back and have a reality for myself, right? Um and really own the mistakes that I've made in my past, right? The things that I've done. Am I regretting my mistakes? I'm not even gonna lie to you, and this is probably going to be the most selfless slash selfish thing that I'm gonna say. I don't regret nothing. I don't. I don't regret it because I'm who I am now because of that. That had to happen for me to get to where I'm at now, right? And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with losing out on certain friendships that don't need to be here anymore. I'm okay with leaving the relationships that I had and it never has to, and I don't have to be there anymore. I'm okay with that. Because of the fact that I got a chance to be who I'm gonna be now. If anybody if y'all see in the comments anything, y'all can talk if y'all choose. Like, I don't know, it ain't showing nothing, but if y'all choose to say anything, y'all can. Like, it's a thing y'all can comment on there if y'all want to really talk and stuff. So um, but I feel like where you are in your life now, if you are truly happy and you've accomplished your goals, then you did what you were supposed to do. You know what I mean? You did the thing to get where you needed to be. And sometimes you run into rough patches, you run into things that's gonna put you in a bad space or whatever the case is. And you gotta own it, you gotta eat it, and then you gotta love on who you are at this point. Because at the end of the day, it's just you, you know what I mean? And sometimes you might have friends that just might be envious of your life or don't want anything to do with your life or want you to be a part of their life so much that, what I mean, like they don't care about that part of you. They don't care about you needing to be, a better version of you. They only care about what they can get out of you, and that's about it. Same thing could possibly be true to relationships. Like not every time it's someone else's, not every time it's your fault, not every time it's their fault. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just a circumstance that okay, this shit has possibly either ran its course. Y'all don't, you're not compatible. Um, y'all don't need to. I don't see a spot to comment. Huh? Oh, on the video, you might have to go to the live thing. Sorry, I can see you typing to me, Christy. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know what the hell. I don't know if I did anything. It say live comments right there. So mm. Anyway, so um yeah, it's a situation where it's like you're gonna have spaces like that where something has gone, things have it has to change. It has to like you're never not in somebody's life for a reason. You're in there for a reason. It creates its own personal change, even if it's good or the reality check that it's bad, right? Something had to change. Something had to put you in a space where you had to grow. And in the midst of you growing, somebody probably got hurt. Somebody probably is getting hurt, or you are probably the person that's hurt by something, or you know, anything can happen. So it's like you we have to in midst of self-love, it is something gratifying about growing from something that just doesn't have to exist for you anymore. Or knowing that, that person is good, or knowing that that person is happy, or knowing that that person is this or that. There's something gratifying about that. Sometimes you just got a positive relation, you got a positive outlook on that relationship, or you have the worst outlook on that relationship, right? At the end of the day, you're somebody's story. And lessons will be learned, lessons will be shared, and people are going to grow from everything. That's a part of self improvement, self love, self everything. So that's my shit on self love. So if y'all are having issues with commenting and everything like that, I think if you click on the video itself, it should put you in a space where you can live chat. Let me check it myself and see what it do. Give me 2 seconds, because if I can see it, then y'all should be able to see it. Let's do eyeballs. Yeah, it's right there. Y'all remember how I used to do this? It's sitting right there. So okay. If y'all can't see it, oh, there you go. All right, there you go. Hey, Chrissy Davis. There we go. So now y'all see it, y'all can comment, and y'all have any questions, anything. This is a question-based show. There's always been a question-based show. Back to when me and Basic was on here, it's always been a question-based show. So if y'all have any questions, y'all want to know something, ask it. I'm here. So let's get to this part. All right, so part 2 of this, right? I really wanted to talk about this, right? This is something that I felt like I wanted to talk about for a long time, right? So this conversation, right? It's about I don't know if y'all know about like black people in research, but it's been like a thing where it's like it's a possibility that it isn't done right, right? Now that could be a stigma, that could be some bullshit, but a lot of people don't necessarily always do the proper research. Now, the conversation I want to have around that is not just, I'm not critiquing people. I'm actually want to just throw some elements in there to kind of show how we can research more as black people, right? Tap in more as black people when we want to talk about black people. Like if an alien was to come to this planet, right, and is asking you, like, let's say it wants to know who are y'all as what y'all are. How can you describe that? Like, are we going to do tropes? Are we going to do shit that just whatever it is? Like, no, we're going to sit back and try our best to explain how we do this shit, right? So my next topic is, how do we properly research, right? How do we properly research black culture, right? And I have my ways, and then y'all tell me how y'all feel about this, right? We can write about this, we could talk about this, but I feel like how we properly research, and this is multiple questions. This is multiple questions within this, right? Let me read the whole prompt off. How do we properly research, right? Is it okay to judge people on things they lack and do not know? Do we have the tools to know what we do, what to do? I'm sorry. What could be the cause that is basically hindering us, the cause that could be hurting us as a culture, right? What are these different little things? So one of the ways we can properly research is learning what we choose to engage with, right? What do we choose to engage with as a culture, right? What are we engaging with, right? So like if I was to say I'm going to research black culture, there's things, just steps that you could possibly do with that as well. So like avoiding things, right? Sensationalizing black culture, right? And what I mean by sensationalizing black culture, it could be like talking about how much we struggle as black people, right? That is a problem, because and not all the time, but that's a problem when it comes to like expressing what we are as a culture, because when people don't give a damn. So like when you're telling people about like us as black culture and like, oh, we're struggling and we going through this and we going through that, they don't want to hear that, because at the end of the day, they brain ain't thinking to be like, oh, let's help this poor black culture out. Like, nah, if we create ourselves in a stronger fashion, they got to think, they got to know. So like when you creating black culture a certain way, right? You want to create more of a love towards us, right? Give us some strength, give us some dignity, give us something to stand for, give us some vigilance. You know what I mean? Show that we're stronger than what we are. Show that we are this, right? Give us some nuances of life, like who we are as black people. Give us that, right? We get more of that, we good to go. Just I look at it. This is all research, you know what I mean? This is my own personal research and learning more about black culture, right? And more about how we can do it, right? So you have that. Another point of contention is focusing on like the systemic things, right? And systemic things is helping people, other black people. Like, let's say I'm talking to a black guy and he don't get it, right? So if he don't get it, I gotta show this dude, or I gotta tell this dude, like, yo, you gotta understand, right? We're working in a job that's surrounded by a lot of white people, right? Look at how many years they've been there, right? Look at all these white people, look how long they've been there, right? So all these white people have been here for 20 to almost 30 years, right? And now you got a bunch of new black people. But why do you have newer black people and not enough older black people that was a part of that, right? Not even just black, you know, it could be other races, but we're just talking about just black right now. So why is it only just that's been there that amount of time? Oh, you're being segregated from the job. They didn't want you there. They don't want your black ass there. At that time, there was flags hanging up at that point at one point, right? And I'm talking about my job, but I've heard there's been Confederate flags hanging up at one point, right? So you already showed that you didn't want us there. That is a part of systemic things, like, yo, not giving people the opportunities. You know what I mean? Not giving people knowing that you get paid a certain way in that position. Right now, our job is union based. So when you're a part of a union, once you walk in that position, I don't give a damn that white person been there 30 years. I'm getting paid the same thing you getting paid. So that's a part of systemic things too. When you don't offer that to other people, right? It took people starting to give a fuck at some point later on to start helping people get into these positions, right? Helping people get it, right? And then also, like, there's another thing, right? There's two things that I got an issue with, right? When it comes to like systemic things, right? People will sit in a space, right? And they'll have camaraderie when it comes to football and basketball and baseball and all this other shit, right? But when it comes to the sport itself and being able to pay for the sport, go to the games, do all the other stuff, can't do it. Why can't you do it? Because you're living and you're existing in another space of like somebody being able to afford this. Why can they afford this? Because there's jobs out there, there's stuff out there that helps them be able to sustain or get that money to be able to do this, right? Then there's also businesses that people probably have that they're making money off of. There's partnerships that they probably got with the teams themselves, like that really like that can help them or whatever the case is. But our black asses can't necessarily just do that, right? Some of us got it in today's society. Some of us know people, some of us whatever. But at the end of the day, like, we're not getting those privileges. You know what I mean? Like, let's take, for instance, LeBron James coming to Philly. That first game is like, I heard it was a couple of grand just to go to the first game. So if it's a couple grand to go to the game, these are a bunch of black men playing basketball. Watch how many people in that crowd is going to be white. You see what I'm saying? Like, why is that a thing that they can afford to do that, but not a lot of black people can't? Not saying that they wouldn't spend the money for it. I'm not saying that, but why? You know, why is that a thing for them? Moving forward, let's see. I'm thinking about something else. What you? Oh, okay. So like topics around like sensitive things, right? So let's have this conversation, right? Let's be real about this part too. Our black culture tend to push a lot of things, right? We push a lot of things on each other real fast. And what I mean by that is we get mad, we get upset, somebody feels some type of way, whatever, right? And then the next thing you know, you start talking about their mental health. You start calling them certain things that they probably feel like they're not, right? They could be displaying all the things. Sure, we all understand that the things can be displayed, but if they don't feel like that's what they're doing in that moment, how can you sit back and reel that person back in to help them understand what they're doing, right? Some people have inabilities to do that. I'm not saying I'm perfect and I know how to do it, but I just know like some people don't know how to help people. So when they see the behavior, immediately you're attacking the person. Oh man, you're displaying this, but also I understand and I have to get it that you could be going through the same thing that person's going through. They just don't look the same. So um you just got to be careful. You know what I mean? You got to be careful on the things that you say to a person because one of the biggest triggers, obviously, is calling somebody something, right? That they don't feel like they are. So, like, if I'm getting into a situation and I'm arguing with a coworker and stuff like that, right? You call a coworker, uh, you know, tell him that he's uh, shit, I'm not trying to say it like this, but he's a fat, nasty slob or something like that, right? It's a fat, nasty slob. That's just hurting somebody. Like you don't need to do all that. You don't have to do all that. Like us as people, if we lead with more of a caring approach, you're not going to always get a bad answer. And even if you do get a bad answer, you got to have more self control to know, like, I always got control of the situation. So like, I need to be careful about that. You know what I mean? You do gotta pay attention to certain things. You don't have to be, but like some niggas just text it, Alexis. Text it in the conversation up here so I can see it. So no, but you want to be careful about stuff like that too, because like I said, it's easy for us to jump right down somebody's throat. I'm getting to a point when I get to the end of all this part right here, you will understand what I'm going at with this. So um that is something that we all gotta pay attention to as humans. Like be conscious of like people's feelings in a certain sense. Like you don't want to just say certain things. Like just think about it. That's all. Um Also another thing that you can do, this is the fun one right here. Start speaking life into the black culture that we are. Talk about the music that we have created, even though they ain't always the best. Talk about the roots of the hip hop. Talk about the love that the 70s made, with that soul music that they were making back in those days, the R&B of those times, like the love that was created out of that stuff, right? It's a lot of drugs, but a lot of love at the same time. But the stuff that that stuff, the music that we created, all the different genres that we have, the black universities that's running around right here. Talk about that stuff, right? Like, yo, pause. What up? How you, sir? Um, Let me see. Gotta put it up on the screen. What's going on? Welcome in. Welcome in. So like I said, we want to go ahead and speak more life into it. Anybody that's brand new in here, please hit the like button for me, subscribe to me, follow me. This will be on other platforms too, but thank y'all for being here. But you just want to speak that, talk about the pyramids that we have as black people, like where we stand, like how we are as a culture. Like we got a lot going on for ourselves. Like I said, we got like I said, HBCUs. We have black leaders, black authors. We have black scientists. We have black women. Oof. Let's talk about y'all for a quick second. The amount of graduates that y'all are, the amount of educators that y'all are, the ones that stand tall and stand firm and stand in front of us and help us be who we are today. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the things. Black men, a lot of the powerful black men, those leaders that lead the right way for people, for humans, not just for some type of sex or just for the woman or just for the man. Like you're a leader of people, you're a leader of humans. You know what I mean? Like you know how to, show your bravado and just, push that thing. So it's like you got this. I mean, like the Michael Jacksons of the world, the princes of the world. Like I don't want to mention other people because they're capitalists, but I'm sorry, I just can't do it. The people who like really influence life and keep the culture going, like sometimes even when it's not the best, they keep it going. That's a thing for me. So um the last I'm gonna finish it with this particular topic is talking about like our us ethically, right? So like what we get what black people get in position in line of like whiteness, right? Or in line of Asians or line of Hispanics or whatever the case is, right? Not being overshadowed and overlooked, right? This is the research that we can do is learn how we can be better and show up, you know what I mean? And don't have to be a certain way, you know what I mean? Like I'm not to pandering or catering. I'm not catering to y'all if I want to be a respectful person, because guess what? At the end of the day, if you I put it like this, right? If I'm being respectful to you, I'm gonna be respectful to you. If you choose to attack me, I'm gonna just attack you back. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna shut the fuck up. Like, no. If it's my time to go, I'm going out with the guns with a blaze of glory because I guarantee you ain't gonna look good either. We just both gonna be checked together. That's just how I look at it. And let me continue on. My bad. But you want to be like us as black people. And now I'm gonna go lean right into black women with this one, right? Being compensated in life, right? Look overlooked, even though you're more educated than most of the people that's in the same line as you, right? Why is that a thing? You know, like, and that's the thing about corporate world. The corporate world ain't shit. You know what I mean? Like they choose to, you know, they choose to be, you know, what they're gonna be towards people. That's what they choose to do, and that's just how it's gonna be for them. But I know for sure black women are way more educated than what the fuck they think they're doing. So most of the women that I even been with in my life, education levels on the max, you know what I mean? Like regardless of what they did. So um yeah. That I'm sorry, I'm still sending this podcast out to people. So y'all gonna listen to this conversation. um Once again, if y'all are here for the first time, make sure that y'all subscribe to me. Let's hit the like button. The like button really matters. Like I'm taking this shit beyond serious at this point because at some point, y'all, these ads and all this other shit, they're gonna pay me. Fuck that. I'm gonna get this YouTube money. Definitely gonna get this YouTube money. I'll refer back to this video in a year. But yeah. So also besides just the women, your expertise, the things that you know, like we are creators of a lot of things. A lot of what black people have created, like cell phones. A lot of us have discovered the GPS. Thank you. I appreciate you. We've created like cell phones. We started like what else? Electricity, I think was by a black man. A lot of us has discovered a lot of things. I think a war was won by a black man. Mm-hmm. They don't want to talk about that shit. A war was won by a black man. And they tried to change history. They didn't try to change history all the time. Like this revisionist history shit is annoying. They try to, you know, like we've done so much, you know what I mean? And it ain't just a black woman sitting on a bus. It ain't just a black woman freeing slaves under the railroads. It ain't just um a black man standing up for something and having being dismembered because of it, right? It isn't, you know, a black man being hung for no apparent reason, you know what I mean? It isn't a black kid that decided he wanted to go hang out with his white friends and now he's popping up gone and everybody's disappearing from that conversation, or at least trying to sweep it under the rug. It isn't the 14 to 15. I'm sorry, I might be wrong about that. There might be like 18 or 19 different black people that's been hung this year alone, right? Because black people don't hang themselves, right? We don't do that. I can confidently say we don't fucking do that. Enough of us know our history to want to do it. That no, we ain't hanging from trees. You know what I mean? Like we're in a time where it's like we need this more than anything, right? We need this love and we need that pouring into, you know what I mean? Fuck all the fights and all the other stuff. Like we need love into each other because guess what? There are white people that love us. There are Asians that love us. There are Hispanics that love us. There are Indians that love us. All the different races, Haitians, Jamaicans, uh, we have love all across this planet. We just got to change their narrative because they can't keep putting that shit on us. You know what I mean? And we got to start getting to it and really doing our thing to show it. You know what I mean? So overall, once we start, the idea of research is to create more community. Once we create community, once we get that going, once it's ingrained and once it's an actual thing for us, man, we are fucking unstoppable. We are the leaders of everything fucking dope and cool anyway. So why can't we just continue that on? I don't know. Y'all tell me when I'm wrong. Y'all tell me when I'm wrong. That's how I look at it. Okay, so I need to look at something real quick because there's something else I wanted to talk about and kind of get towards more the ending of this damn podcast with stuff. But if y'all are like I said, I thank y'all for watching. If y'all are following me on all the other platforms, please share this out to somebody. So I'm heading over to the other side of things. Let's see, what was this? I know I had a topic for this shit. All right, so all right. I need more collaborative conversation with this part, right? And that's the reason why. Um this and it's do black men rely on black women for everything? Or is it just pure subjective like views? Like is it just that this person just feels that way or she feels this way or this or that, right? Crazy question. But there's a reason why I'm asking this because um I think there's a little bit of a delusion around that shit. Definitely everything. Define everything. What you mean define everything? Oh, yeah. Okay, I apologize. So leaders of the household, right? In their own sense, right? Making sure that shit is cooked and cleaned and blah 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 blah, right? Kids are taken care of. Leaders that start when black boys are and black men are taken out and black women are taken out, y'all step up first, right? Y'all viewed in saving us, right? And making sure that we're good, like educationally, um the workforce. Uh what else can I say out there? And even in how you present yourself on an everyday basis, right? Why do men in particular wait for women to display that shit, right? Like, why do we wait for women to now show up, right? And wait for women to show up and want to um like okay, for men going to the hang out at the clubs and shit, right? I'm gonna go to the club and I'm just looking purely for women, right? But you're not going to have fun. You're just going because you know it's women gonna be there. So your motivation is just going to do it for women, right? Cool. Um Now you got a situation where hold on. What else someone educationally, right? Women are more educated than men, but men ain't trying to go and do the same thing women are doing. Women has to show you first. That is my mom, since my grandmother is the first one to graduate college, right? Nobody else has graduated college since that I could think of. Yeah, no one else I've seen that graduated college. So that's another thing. Leaders in a household. A man is looking for a woman to be able to eat. You know what I mean? He's looking for a woman to be able to make sure that his comfort is met, that uh your kids are taken care of, um, to make sure that he's satisfied in all the ways, sexually, mentally, emotionally. Um, hmm, that's another thing. Oh no, y'all tell me. Like, is that a thing, or is that just complete bullshit? I'm not saying that it is or isn't. I'm just having the conversation. Is it or is it not bullshit? I'm just doing an observation at this point because when you hear the conversations, it's the same old thing. You know what I mean? The men versus women conversations. But I think I was hearing something. I'm like, why do we think that men just lean into women all the time? I don't think that that's an actual. I think the idea of what it is, like, it makes men do that. But I'm sorry, but I call men on so much bullshit because they will act like they will act like what they're talking about is an actual thing. I still have yet to see a man talk up to his woman disrespectfully, like she better be in the kitchen, she better be this, she better be that. Like, no, nigga, you ain't doing that shit. You know, for real, I'm over here like women really run that shit, bro. You just don't know. Huh? And not questioning why they exist in the first place. No, no, no. I'm not questioning it because I want to see whose point of view, if people share the same point of view. I'm just trying to see something. I'm not saying that is not a thing. Sometimes when I'm asking these type of questions, I just want to know perspectives. I want to know what y'all thinking. Like, is this an actual thing? I know that it's led in bullshit. I know where it comes from. It's a lot of standards that doesn't even exist now, but it's forced. People still holding on to that and still pushing that to the forefront. I'm just asking what is people's perspective on it, because I just want to see if everybody do think a certain way. So I guess that's just what I'm trying to see. Like, I'm just trying to see like what it is for everybody else. Like, do y'all think that that's an actual thing? Like, because I don't know if that's just everybody just following the same thing, or just caught in a situation where it's like, oh well, it's this, and yeah, women do that, and it's like, I don't know if that's what it is. Like, I don't know. All right, well, I'll go into explaining. Um, so obviously they come from a time where people, that was just a structure, right? It was a structure because it might have made sense for that to happen that way, right? Because men were the workers, men were the ones in the military, or men were the ones that was providers of the family at that time, right? And maybe it just that it may be it's something I want to discover and go deeper into. I'm talking about as far back as I could possibly go to see why that structure existed, and see if that structure actually had way more respect than what it do now, because the expectations is crazy now. But and it's been here for a minute, but just like I exist in as a millennial, I don't exist as other generations, so I can tell you how hardcore it is now. So um I do think people do that because maybe some people actually enjoy that shit. Like, some women don't mind that. Some men like it that way as well. Yeah, it makes sense for them to do it that way, right? I think it's also in how it's verbed, how you talk about it, how you put it out there. Like, if you are treating a person as like they just hold on, let me turn this down because I can hear myself a little bit too much. Um I think like the expectations is very over the top. And I do, like I said, I don't think that that's an actual thing for certain people, right? Some people talk the talk, but it's not actually that's actually not their lifestyle. Like, they might be getting that, but they're getting it in a very subtle way. It's not getting it in a way of like um the way that they're trying to present it, like, or put it out there. Because I just feel like, me personally, some people are punks. Like, they're not gonna sit back and talk to their lady any type of crazy. Like I said, they're just not gonna do that. I think that it's just they're trying it. They're trying it. That's all. But I asked that question just to see how people think. So, um, if anybody, Mark, if you have another idea of what you're, trying to, I guess say for it, then I'll let you have that space to say it. But I don't know. Even your use of language in this conversation forces hierarchy ideas, leader in a household. Yeah, because that's how people think. It's not me. It's how people think. If I say it, I'm not saying it because it's an actual thing. I'm saying it because it exists. This is the reality of how people think, as opposed to what is the actual thing. Some people have that idea that this is what it is, not me saying that's what it is. I don't think anything of it. I don't live that life, so I don't think anything of it. I don't live a life where I believe that people can be this way. I'm asking it because I want to know, how do other people view it? How do other people view the situation? Do they view it the same way like people are saying it? Do they think like, oh well, women should be this or men should be this? Like, do they think that's an actual thing? I don't I don't know it to be that for me. I don't think that being a leader of a household, obviously if we have a conversation and we see how things are done, that's when we kind of determine, okay, this is how we can move with things. Like, okay, it makes sense for me to do this, it makes sense for you to do that, or whatever the case is, the roles, I guess, if that's the case, because it just makes sense for that to be that, right? The question was, sorry, welcome, Embry. Um, sorry, I gotta find it now. Oof. Where the hell did it go? I had it sitting somewhere too. Um, I was asking, do black men rely on women for everything, or is it just pure subjective talk? Like, if they just talking bullshit, like they just this is just what it is for them. Like, it's a okay, I believe women should be doing this, or is it a thing that a lot of black men rely on black women to do everything first before they decide to do it? It's just a question. That's all. I'm just asking a question. I'm not presenting it to make people have it. I just want to know, how do people think as far as that? Like, it isn't a trap. It isn't to do anything. Are you streaming on other platforms? Saying this? Yeah, I am. I'm on hold on. I'm on my other platform. I'm on Facebook and this at the same time. So yeah. Y'all comments is popping up on here. So I feel like I gotta make it bigger. But um there you go. I don't know how big it is now on there. Hey, shit on another okay. My bad. I'm just pulling up the same thing. But yeah, I'm only asking that, like I said, because I just want to know, once again, how do people think? How do people think that's a thing? Like, do y'all believe that's a thing? Do you believe that people should have um that discord in their relationships? Like, do you believe people should be um that men should be relying on women in certain areas or certain things? Mhm. Like, it's just a question. And maybe I'm stemming this from another thing that I heard today. I just wanted to ask y'all to see what y'all think. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to know, like, do y'all feel like it's something that's lean into? Like, all right, this comment, John ain't going away. All right. I think what I had wrote in there earlier was I don't believe that men just necessarily just lean into women. And I just believe that some people just maybe just have a certain standards of their life that they just view stuff that way. It could be learned behaviors, it could be people just learning from, their upbringing and stuff like that. And that's what leads them to have those thoughts and maybe think that way, like I've never, I guess for like, even with my mom, my mom has always been like I guess I always see my mom in a more of a lead role, I guess. So I never really paid it no attention that men is supposed to be doing this thing. Like, I just never paid it no attention. I ain't never been in a relationship where that person can sit back and tell me I was walking in there like, yeah, I'm the leader of your life. Like, no. Not saying that I'm not saying I ain't a protector and all the other stuff. I'm naturally who I am, but you was born in this world by yourself. Like, I didn't, you know what I mean? When you leave, you leaving by yourself. It's like I'm leaving by myself. As much as I love and care for a person that I might be with, when you checking by yourself. I know it sounds crazy, but hey, when you leave, you leaving by yourself. I think black men are used to depending on black women. And I am also used to depending on black women. Okay. But that's what I'm saying. Like, why? What makes you think that in particular? Like, what makes you think that black men are doing that. Because like I said, for me personally, I don't necessarily think that's an actual thing. I do think like I said, there's circumstances in people's lives where they're used to leaning. Like you might have a man that's just always been raised by women or raised by his mom. Like I've heard conversations where people said like um, they want to be taken care of by a woman too. Like the same standard that some women throw at men, the men throw it right back at y'all, and I just laugh at the shit. Like I'm like, oh y'all wild, like y'all out here just using each other half to death in that little bit of realm. So I'm just waiting for your comment to come up. So, but even what I was saying to Marcus earlier, like it ain't to say or to challenge what they're telling me or trying to portray towards me, because even how I'm framing it, whatever the case is, like the goal is to actually just get a conversation with this. Like I just want to see like what what people feel and what people think out of this. Like I think that's the biggest goal for me. Because if I see how you feel and I see what it is, then maybe it helps me like understand people a little bit more, like and how they think. It's natural for those who are codependent, especially if they were solely raised by their mother. Yeah. And but even in the case of that, right? Like you got people who were raised by their mom, but they don't do that. Like they don't lean on women. Like I can honestly say, like I've had situation where I had gone back to my mom's house at one point, right? I had to go back there and live there. So that's a thing. Marcus is a good example. I think one Marcus left their mom's house, never went back. Never. I don't think he went back one time at all. Like never went back. Um, I don't want to tell too much of that business, but I know when it happened, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, they never went back at that point. So it's not like it's circumstances once again, and I do think like some people just use because they know how to do that and how you grew up and how you're raised. Like it's a mimic thing. You could be mimicking, like you said it on the nose. Like if you got people around you that isn't that's a certain way or they do a particular thing because you aren't codependent. You said you think the question is too broad for what? That's the part. You gotta okay, Mark. Take the question and it being it broad, right? How can you simplify the question by just creating a conversation for multiple people? If I just sit back and just give that one solution without having people have a chance to be able to just talk, right? And then we can all bring it together and be able to create whatever. Like me and Bree right now, we're having discourse with this because sure, she's saying that black women. She thinks that black men lean into black women, but she also is admitting to how she leans into black women, right? Okay. That doesn't mean that I agree or disagree. It just means that we're just having a conversation because it's just for knowledge purposes. Sometimes it's okay to might maybe broad a conversation, broad a question. It's not damaging. Like I'm not trying to throw damaging things out there to make it more or less. So it opens up a thing where maybe the understanding is how can I get to her by if I ask her a question that might make her answer the way that other people ask the question, it can be more simplified now. Now we can bring it in. If I just come out and just give this, okay, then I'm just, it's your follow up. It's immediately certain people do this or that. Yeah, because it's the truth. Lonnie Lynn has a point. I can't see her whole comment. Okay. Which one? This one right here? Oh, you talking about this one, Chris? Yeah, because it's more or less speaking to her particular statement. Like if she's saying that people do this, the truth is there are people who do that. So I gotta speak the truth as opposed to just always just going right to the well, no, 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 no. It's like, okay, but the truth is people do what she's saying. Okay. We understand that, but I can tell you what the truth is, and then there's also a solution to that part right there, right? So, like, if you got the solution, I would just say the solution, like, right? Okay, no, but this is what can be the thing, right? Well, this is what the thing is. Like, if people are utilizing people or using women in this way, that's why I said it's because of the upbringing. It could be because of multiple different things. So yeah, it is broad, but you got to understand it isn't just based in just this one particular thing. People are forever evolving and changing and doing things differently than what you've experienced, right? Because I can't speak to what all belongs in this world. Like everybody isn't the same. So the way I do things is not going to be the same way somebody else do things, right? How I can sit back and say like, oh, I've never utilized a relationship in that sense, but other people have, and they could do the same thing in so many different ways. I'm just speaking to the fact that okay, she's saying that, so yeah, I gotta kind of go with her that yeah, people do that shit, but this is the way that you can kind of change that up and you can see it from different perspectives. It just it and I what's the goal of that of what you're saying, Mark? Is it to just close in and just say, hey, it's just this and leave them with what now? Like, because people don't know how to simplify. They don't know how to just keep it and just go bam. You're gonna have to over explain or overdo something to get them to understand sometimes. You're going to have to agree with some shit, or you're going to have to align with some shit that possibly is real, right? So if it's broad, then I guess it's broad. It's broad because the the question is set up for what do you think? What do you think is going to be this? So everybody's answer is going to be different. Oh, I'm sorry. Both are Greek points. Okay. You said, I'm just speaking to function of the question. You recognize that you can't give a broad answer because your response is to immediately hone in on certain people. So if you can't give a broad answer, okay, are you writing something else? Then you shouldn't ask a broad question. What what do you mean? I never said I couldn't give a broad answer. I never said that I couldn't give a broad answer. What I'm saying is that it is a broad question. So chances are they're going to give me a thing that's going to point to this thing. Like it's just the experiences. That's all it is. Regardless of what I say, what do you say to them? That's the part. What do you say to them? It ain't just about me and how I respond. It's also what they're saying as well. How do you respond to them? Do you just give them something real basic, or do you give them what can you give them to help them understand? That's how I'll look at it. Me, I'm just a person asking a question and just answering back. I didn't create a solution. I didn't do anything. I'm just basically just saying I'm in agreement, but also saying that, yeah, this is also a thing as well, right? I'm not ending nothing because guess what? I can sit back and just do what we just did and just answer them, but I can also come back and tell me, well, no, it's this, and this as well, right? Yo, Sherrod, what up, bro? What up, cuz? I don't know where I'm coming through. I don't there, but what's going on with you? Welcome in. Welcome in. It's a fun conversation. It's nothing serious, y'all. I promise. So like that's why I said, like, what do you say to a person that actually is saying that thing that's related to this? It's because I asked a question that it creates this. Questions are going to be asked. Like I got to ask it the way that I'm seeing it on this thing. I don't go around it. I'm just asking it the way that I seen it earlier. I just wanted to know, do everybody think the same with that? That's all. Do you think the same? Or what is your thoughts around it? Like, you know, I'm not throwing nobody any like negativity or anything like that. I just, I'm trying to clear up the stuff so y'all gonna see it pop up for a quick second and go away and go away. Yeah, that's the live part of the conversations, y'all. When you, it's just like I said, I asked this question, and it could just lead to just whatever it's going to be. All right, so let me let me move on from that one. My only thought is if someone asked me that, I'd end up explaining why it's not a good question to ask. Yeah, because that's how your brain does things. You're not thinking the same way everybody else is thinking. People are going to answer the question, regardless if it's broad or not. If you ask me a question, I'm gonna just answer it, right? That's all I can say. It doesn't mean that. The thing is, questions that are broad going to get asked all the time, right? So am I going to turn away from every broad question because it's broad to you? No, you may answer it the best way I can. And if it can't be answered, then I'm just not going to answer it. That doesn't mean that it's going to put people in a bad space. She's No one is saying anything that is a problematic or a problem. At least that's what I feel. I mean, maybe if you're seeing it that different, then the question I asked, I asked, hold on. Do Let me see. Do black men rely on black women for everything, or is it just pure subjective talk? That's all. Yeah, just subjective talk. Like basically, you said then you answer it broadly. Wait, when did I answer it broadly? Do it. Yo, hold on. Sure, cuz Chris, I was basically the thing is basically it was a conversation that was talked about earlier where they were talking about women were saying that men rely on women for everything, right? And I was just like, I don't think that's necessarily 100% true, right? I'm saying do it now, answer it broadly. Answer what broadly? The same way? I mean, I can't answer that broadly, but I'm just responding because what I said to them earlier was basically answering that no, I don't believe that all men follow women. That's what I was answering. I was like, I don't think all men follow women. I just think that is a circumstance thing of like how people could be brought up in a certain situation that put them in line for that to use people or to view people a certain way. People that has mothers and sisters or aunts that has raised them, they tend to follow them. You know what I mean? Chris, right there. He in our family, we had a lot of strong aunts, a lot of strong aunts. Am I wrong, Chris? Am I right? Like, we had strong aunts in our family. Still to this day, they're strong people. So like they tend to look like leaders of the men. So a lot of the men were looking at the women a certain way. Just happened to somebody. Yeah, I mean, you said that's the point. What's the point? Hold on, I'm confused again, Mark. Hold on. Chrissy said it's situational. Okay. Yeah, that's what I said though. I said that earlier. I said that way earlier. I said it's based off of the situation. I just responded to Lonnie Lynch. Even to this day, yeah. Facts, facts. Even to this day. Yeah. Circumstantial. Yeah. That's what I said earlier. I said that I just was going to her to Lonnie's question and saying how yes, I can see how people do that. That's just creating conversation. That's all. I mean, I'm not into just shutting it down. I want to actually create conversation around it. Like I'm not digging for nothing. I'm just trying to create conversation because she's right. Like that's just what it is. She is right. Like people do that, regardless if I backtrack, regardless if I broaden it, regardless of whatever it is. Hey, do I just not say, hey, do I just move on to the thing and just I'm just creating conversations because that's just what you do. You create conversation. That's the fun part of the conversation, y'all. This is what I get a chance to sit back and just do the bullshit now. um, let me see. All right, but let me kill off of that situation, right? That situation happened. It just, like I said, it was a question. Just want to know how y'all felt, and I thank y'all for giving me y'all responses and certain things like that. That kind of made my day a little bit because I get to talk about some shit that I'm like, all right, I ain't the only one that might not think this, or I don't think this part of it, but I just I got some clarity out of y'all. So um let me see. Actually, I think that's it for my topics today. The other ones was cool. I don't know if you was there for that part, Marcus, but the other ones was cool. Like totality for this, right? Let's move past the little bonus question I threw in there. Um as far as us as a culture and as far as black people like doing the research and doing certain things to like help us improve who we are as in our lives, like right, I had in the beginning your self-love towards yourself and how that helps you improve by becoming a better human overall. As long as you do the work that helps that, create the better mindset for yourself, better habits, personal growth, you're more likely to achieve your goals and things that you want to do, as far as your health and the things that you set out for. Sometimes your relationships with your friends and your family could be a lot better, your partner in life. And it's this process of also learning to be accountable for who you are and to be accountable for who you are, and also just like owning to your mistakes and what you play and the roles that you play in life. Like that's a big thing. That you got to do that type of work. Like sometimes that Michael Jackson, that man in the mirror, you're gonna have to stare at that thing and say, all right, I fucked up. This on me. This, or I shouldn't have did this or I shouldn't have did that. The new generation need to adopt that mindset. Oh, they definitely got it, Chris. And that's the crazy part. Them kids got the mindset. They have it. They just don't. Chris, we live in a generation. These kids, they don't give a fuck. Like they love it. Like I loved it. I love that they don't give a fuck because they existed in a space where it's like they're being them. And I think that's something that we should probably lean into a little bit more. I do think we got to get with them, get with the kids. Just be like, all right, chill a little bit, young boy. Like because I'm not gonna lie to you, I think that people severely treat these kids a certain way. These little Negroes is actually cool as fuck. I've had like they seem disrespectful, and you know what, and I know why you saying that because you drive the train, so you saying shit like that all the time. But these little niggas ain't killing nobody. The gun violence is crazy low. You really got to look at the numbers. They not out here doing it. Niggas my age and back in the 2000s and 90s, dumb niggas they killed the most people. These little niggas ain't doing what they doing now. They doing dumb shit. Like, of course, you seen on the news the other day some shit happened, and I guess this is the part that Mark is talking about right here. But I'm broadening it now. I'd see some shit on the news or whatever the case is, but I'm not going to just hold that to just three individuals and make it every young boy known to man. I'm not. I'm not. I just don't think that's fair to them, right? Because sure, it looks that way, but it's not. It's not them at all. It really isn't. I've said, man, one of the dopest conversations, like it's crazy because them young bulls. I told the young boy, I was like, yo, why you smell like you just smoke blunts all day? And he started cracking the fuck up. I was like, I'm just playing. I like smiling. You smile, you just smoke all day, bro. He was like, man, I'm just saying. But that's how easy it is to have a conversation with them. Like, sometimes them young boys just want somebody to talk to them. They just want somebody to talk to them. That's it. They don't want nothing else. They just want you to sit back and just have a conversation with them. Because, sure, like, I just don't believe they just doing exactly what everyone say that they're doing. You know what I mean? They wild as fuck. They loose cannons sometimes, like in their own right, but these young boys is chilling, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, they chilling. I believe in our youth. They're gonna be the reason why some shit change because they don't give a fuck. They don't. They don't care. But it's like people like us will hinder that. We'll hinder that if we treat them a certain way. If we put them if we put them in a space and they feel like they backed into a corner, that's when they start wilding the fuck out. And that's just over history. Like that's happened in every generation. Once you put somebody in a space, like you know how it was when we was young boys, they put you in that space. You can feel that you in that space, and it's like that should be pissing people off. Like I hated when my mom used to put me in that space, and I still tell that shit to this day. Like, mom, you used to annoy the shit out of me. I don't say it, I don't cuss, but I'm like, you used to annoy me with that. Like, you put me in that space. Well, that because y'all been like, yeah, but still, like, you could have easily had a conversation, and that could have been a whole different result. Some people just naturally rebel now, so I'm just being honest. You know how Pam was. Pam was no joke. She cussed everybody and their kids out. Like, but is that always needed? No. You have a conversation with these young boys, you'll see. They good kids, man. They really are. They're really good kids. They're really good kids that just they do that thing. They do that thing like that identity crisis thing. I next week. That's actually my topic next week. It's talking about right. Pam was crazy. Talking about I'm going to be talking about that. Right. I'm gonna be talking about Pam because Pam was funny as shit. Pam funny as a motherfucker. So uh she like I said, we'll talk about that more next week, bro. So the goal of next week's conversation is to actually talk about youngins and the things that I think that they got wrong about them. That is a big topic for me. Is the shit that we got wrong about these kids now. These kids are dope ass kids. They culturally dope. Like they creating a lot of new shit. They're keeping the game moving. Now, mind you, I don't like the 6'7" song, but I got my reasons. I'm for real life 6'7", and that shit is annoying. I got that every day for like 4 months. I was tired of this shit. I ready to start slide these kids. I'm like, if you come up to me and say 6'7" one more goddamn time. But what else? Also, just talking about the identity crisis part of things, right? A lot of them kids have the identity crisis early in life. God damn, lady. They have these identity crises early in life. So, my ex, her son, I felt like it. That's just me. Not to speak on her. I promise you, Carmen. If you're watching this, don't kick my ass. But I felt like he had maybe an identity thing about him, where it was like he just wanted to know who he was. So it led to them two having banter with each other and having problems with each other. And she couldn't understand it. And I seen it and I identified it because I'm like, oh shit, I think that's just a high schooler going through identity crisis. So that's something that I want to talk about as well. I'll talk about the youth and, really I want to praise them. Like, I'm not into bashing the kids. I'm into praising these little niggas. Like, I'm gonna tell them to wash their ass because they smell like fucking Black and Miles and ass. Like, you gotta wash your ass, young boy. Like, ain't no way in hell your sweat smell like Black and Miles. Ain't no way in hell your sweat smell like Black and Miles. Like, get it together. Get it together. Like, but listen, I'm gonna get to that next week. I thank y'all for coming in. Me and Marcus probably gonna have a conversation. I know, yeah, it is what it is. But I had to ask that question. There'll probably be another dumbass broad question next week because I plan on doing it again. So yes, the identity crisis is real, especially being in a suburban / urban setting. Yeah. When you come from the suburbs and then you come over here and you start draking, brother, you gotta chill. Like, you're gonna have to chill for a quick second. You have to chill, like learn, sit back, ask questions. But that's why I feel like as a geriatric millennial, that's probably gonna be my job. Hey, young boy, start asking more questions. I don't know everything. I still ask questions to this day. Big 41, and I'm gonna keep asking questions. And guess what I'm gonna do next time? Keep asking questions. Ain't nothing I can do. I'm a sucker for dumb shit. Like, it is what it is. I'm probably gonna lean into it, get some shit said to me, learn, banter. Like but I'm not gonna be ignorant. Like, we're gonna have the conversations, and that's okay. That's okay. So tune in next week, y'all. I'm gonna talk about the youngins. I'm gonna give them some praise and some love. I want to start talking. I actually want to talk about motherfucking dating apps and pod the balloons and shit like that. Like, I think it's about time I had that conversation as well. Not that I want to talk about dating. I want to talk about dating apps and the weirdness of it, because I've benefited heavy from them, but I also have it at the same time. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. No. I guess the first dating app I can consider a dating app was like Black Planet and MySpace. I don't give a damn what you say. You wasn't on there for no other reason than to be looking at women and men. That was it. Or indifferent, however it is. Like you was looking at something. You was looking at something. You was there for a reason. And it wasn't just to be popular. hmm But all right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna play my song at the end. Y'all make sure that y'all, this album will be coming out real soon. I got that good music. Y'all sit right here. Just go ahead and check this out real quick. I'll see y'all next week.